Hey guys, IMO here. Today, it is time to discuss Mission Impossible. Yeah, that's right, the original film, the one that started it all. A film that, if it had had no sequels, could have become a classic, but was instead tragically overshadowed by its successors to the point of invisibility. Warning, spoilers ahead. When a high-stakes mission goes catastrophically wrong, rookie and surviving team member Ethan Hunt is forced to go underground and turn to dubious allies while staying one step ahead of his own government, all while he attempts to discover the identity of his betrayer. But has he gotten over his head? This is Mission Impossible. Watching this film for the first time was a fascinating experience. Having already seen the other films way out of order, long story, I have to admit that my initial reaction to this film was disappointment. Don't get me wrong, as I will get into it in a moment, this is a perfectly fine movie. It's just that I was so used to, well, better Mission Impossible films. What I'm trying to say is, this film doesn't really stand out in the franchise it started. Even its much maligned sequel had a few memorable moments, something that you'll remember for a long while after the credits roll, not so much here. With the exception of Tom Cruise, the acting in this film is very mediocre, and even Cruise's performance is very middle of the road. Sometimes he does sell being exhausted and being pushed to his breaking points, but other times he comes off as, well, arrogant and really annoying. I understand that he can't look nervous in front of, say, a ruthless arm dealer, but this performance is an overcorrection that really doesn't help the audience root for him. The writing of Mission Impossible is fine. It's fine. This is the shortest Mission Impossible film, and it feels like it. The pacing is brisk to the point of abruptness. In particular, I think something that could have done wonders for this film would have been if we got to see the team working together for longer before they got massacred. We got to see a little bit at the beginning of the film, but it wasn't really enough to make the tragic deaths pack that extra oomph. So as far as Mission Impossible villains go, Phelps and Krieger aren't the worst. They mainly suffer from a real lack of screen time. In fact, there really isn't any one main villain in this film. Phelps is technically the central antagonist in that he kicked off the inciting incident, which protagonist Hunt has to respond to, but like I said, he's barely in the film. Instead, there are a lot of characters who essentially act as obstacles that Hunt has to navigate around, such as the arms dealer Max and IMF director Kittredge. This is one of the things that really annoys me about this film, because there's a real opportunity here for John Voight to play the best villain of the franchise. You see, basically, we are told that Vought's character, Phelps, is Hunt's mentor and almost like a second father to him, which should have made the reveal that he was, in fact, a traitor very impactful. However, the problem was, as I have already pointed out, that we don't really see this relationship before everything goes to hell. So, after that, Phelps is telegraphed as the mole, so a good chunk of the audience realizes something before Hunt does. A big no-no in the world of writing. Kittredge couldn't have been the mole, right? Because if he had been the mole, it wouldn't have made any sense for him to give Hunt a chance to come quietly and explain what had happened. And since we see the dead bodies of the other IMF team members, this leaves either Phelps' wife or Phelps himself as the mole. And since Phelps is only Phelps returned as a hallucination, it only made sense, therefore, that Voight will be back for even more. The editing and effects also don't really help Mission Impossible 1 stand out. This film came out in 1996, and damn, it feels like it. Cruise himself might not age, but the transitions and camera quality in this film definitely do. There's also a distinct lack of cinematography. The night sequences are extremely blue, and everything else basically looks the same. The few effect scenes in this film aren't super great. The two that hold up the best are Hunt's escape from the aquarium and his break-in. The car explosion, for example, at the start really doesn't look good, in my opinion. And from what I understand, the train sequence as the finale is a blend of CGI and practical effects, but the ratio does appear to lean into the direction of CGI by a lot. Lest you think that I am criticizing this film harshly, well, I am. As I said earlier, it's not a bad film by any means, it's just that all of the subsequent films are leagues better. Still, even this film was not without its merits. In particular, the music is spectacular. Not just the main theme, which of course is great, but throughout the entire film, the score hits all the right emotions at the right time, which steps up to help the audience feel the true emotional impact of the story when the writing and acting flags and falters. As long as your expectations aren't too high, I would recommend you watch Mission Impossible. In my opinion, it's a perfectly average spy movie. If you enjoyed this review, please leave a like and or a comment. It helps me and my channel reach new viewers, and I would really appreciate it. I'm going to be covering all the rest of the Mission Impossible films over the next few weeks or so if that sounds interesting to you, don't forget to subscribe and make sure all notifications are on. If you want to support my channel further, I have a Substack where you can subscribe to read my occasional articles, which you can get to through a link in the description below. Thanks for watching. IMO out.